Hey guys, it's Stylosa, and I want to talk a bit about the problems Planetside 2's got at the moment and things that really need to be fixed if the game's going to continue to develop and grow as time goes on. So, to begin with, this is unforgivable. This is literally unforgivable. There is no tutorial. Now, I know they've said that they're going to bring this in and they're going to be they're working on it and all this stuff. Unfortunately, currently, if you log into the game, you drop from outer space and you drop pod and die. Yeah, you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't know how to capture bases. You don't know the basics of the game. You don't know what the hell is going on. That is terrible. You know, I don't understand what conversation has taken place, you know, during the development cycle, and they've suddenly decided, you know what, we won't put the new player experience in the game. That should be the highest priority. I mean, Planetside 1 veterans, hardcore players who are going to play Planetside 2, they do not need to be told. They do not need to be babied, you know, they're going to play the game anyway. But they're such a small fraction of the community that you need to cater to everybody else. And I don't understand for the life of me why that is not in the game. They really, really need to change that. And this more so affects me than it would other people, because I run an outfit. I run the Unit Lost outfit, yeah? So when I'm in TeamSpeak and people start joining, can I have an outfit invite? That's fine, yeah? It's advertised all across my YouTube channel. So this is going to attract people who are not veterans to Planetside 2. Or Planetside 1, sorry. They want to play Planetside 2. They want to experience it. And they're constantly asking me the same questions. You know, they don't know how to capture bases. They're getting increasingly frustrated at, you know, they don't understand why they've died. They don't understand this. They don't understand that. These are not questions they should be asking me. The game should teach these players how to play the game. It is essential that the game treats the new player well and explains the game to them, because if it doesn't, then these players are going to leave. You know, as I said in my video from before launch, where I said, you know, will Planetside 2 fail? Where I attempted to address some of the minor problems which could put off the new player. Now, they fixed almost all of them, but of course I didn't take into account the fact there'd be no tutorial, because how the hell would I know? Now I can obviously see that, and that is really quite bad. So they need to fix that ASAP. Now let's go specifically into the meta game. Now, I've run quite a few outfit operations and I've played the game for in excess of 100 hours, so I know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm not clueless. The locking of continents currently is absolutely worthless. Yep. There is really no point to do this, apart from you can camp them at the warp gate and just endlessly kill them as they come out. The rewards for locking continents are terrible, but then I understand they can't be the best thing ever, because that would make you put you in a more commanding position than you already are if you currently control that continent. There should be some sort of reward though, some incentive to keep doing it, an incentive to keep the continent locked, an incentive for the enemy empires to force you out of that continent. But there's not. You know, there really isn't, and that's quite bad. And this kind of leads me on to the next point. Now this is a really big point. Is currently capturing territory has really no effect. It's got zero reward, which is a big problem. So I'm talking about smaller bases around the map, the outposts. So let me outline a standard Unit Lost platoon operation or outfit operation. So on the whole, we have a full platoon, so we've got 4 squads together. We're going to take 4 galaxies and we're going to drop on 4 different bases to the south of Indar, and we're going to capture them all, yeah? So time goes by, we capture the bases, that's great, yeah? We've had absolutely minimal resistance, yeah? Maybe there was a few, 5 or 6 people we actually encountered that we've killed, yeah? We've got not much in the way of a reward for doing this, yet this is a highly organised operation, yeah? Coordinating 4 groups of 12 players to capture different bases. But we've got no reward. So we press on and we keep capturing bases, and we're getting no reward, really. People begin to get frustrated. You know, they want to see action. Now, currently in the game, you get the most XP, you get the most certs for killing people. So you want to be in a place where you can kill loads and loads of people. There are 4 places to my knowledge where you can do this, maybe 5. So number 1, you follow the massive zerg. Now this is where most of the unorganised play takes place. People follow people, yeah? So if there's a massive column of tanks, more people start joining that. Soon enough, you've got a big zerg forming, yeah? And wherever this goes, at some point it will encounter the enemy zerg, yeah? So there'll be a big standoff firefight. Big potential for a lot of kills. People could go to a biolab. They could go to a tech plant. They could farm outside a warp gate. And you're going to get loads of kills. I mean, you're seeing footage now of me in a biolab. So this biolab, we're defending it, and I'm in one of the trees as light assault. I'm getting tons and tons of kills. This, you know, that's fine. Okay, I'm killing the attackers of the biolab. But for a 3-hour operation which has taken place before, I've just completely eclipsed the amount of XP and certs and rewards in like a 10-minute period. That is not right. This is a game about large, organised operations, yeah? So if I take my outfit around and we start capturing loads of bases and we're not getting any reward for this, people want rewards. And inevitably we'll get drawn into one of these fights because I know people are starting to get, you know, restless. They want action, they want kills, and they're not getting this. So really, what Sony need to do is make some sort of reward system in place for actually capturing these bases. They either give you loads more XP than they currently do, but they also need to give people incentive to defend these bases. If I want to run an outfit operation, I want to run things like, let's defend a Raxicom substation. That's all we're going to do tonight. We're just going to defend it. I can't do that at the moment because nobody will ever attack it. Maybe an enemy platoon might turn up if we're lucky. A few guys might turn up, but they just don't. And this is a really, really major problem. It's a big, big problem that needs sorting. So let's go on to the gameplay. Now, this may sound a bit strange to some people, but again, because of the situation, the unique position I'm in, I speak with a lot of people who have not played Planetside 1. You know, they've played games like Battlefield 3, they've played Counter-Strike, they've played, you know, Call of Duty or whatever. Now, in these games, the lone wolf has quite an impact. You know, you can, if you're the last guy standing, you could quite feasibly kill the entirety of the enemy team and win the round. You can't do anything like that in Planetside 2. Now, this is a very specific example I've got from personal play. I was the infiltrator, and we're attacking a tech plant on Indar, and I've worked my way around the side behind the enemy, yeah? And I've found an enemy Sundra completely packed with infantry. So I'm frothing at the mouth. I'm like, oh my god, good lord. I'm going to get tons of kills, going to do loads of damage. Fast forward a bit, I've run out of ammunition, but I've actually got like 20, maybe even 30 kills. But what have I actually done to the fight? I've done nothing, because these guys instantly respawn. More often than not, I've probably killed the same guy over and over again. Or the same guys. But they just respawn. Now, I've got no ammunition left now. I can't do anything. The only thing left for me to do is basically suicide in and die, or attempt to get back to my lines to find ammunition. There needs to be something which you can do as a lone wolf, which actually makes it worthwhile being a lone wolf. Now, I know Higby has said things like, it'd be great to give the infiltrator recon equipment, yeah? That would be great, yeah? Why isn't it in the game? Right? It's like these are problems they know must have existed, but they've not bothered to really, you know, look at them before the game's launched. Maybe that's down to a rush launch, I don't know. Well, it is. Let's be honest, it is. Another example I could give is, why don't the infiltrators have access to a laser designator? You know, if you could designate the Sundra for some sort of air attack, friendly ESFs could come over and destroy the Sundra. Friendly tanks, friendly infantry or whatever could really rush towards the position and take it out. But there's no way of doing that. Sure, you can spot the vehicle, but not everybody's going to see that. So that is it's a fairly big problem. Now, as I kind of touched on earlier, you know, small squad play is completely pointless at the moment, because you capture a base, you get no reward. Now, this is kind of a bit counterintuitive if you think about it, because this is a massive, you know, it's an MMO. It's free to play as well. So there'll be groups of friends, let's say, you know, 5 or 6 friends who get together, download Planetside 2, jump in, start playing in their group. They're only interested in playing in their group, you know, they don't want to take part in a big outfit or any of that. But what can they really do? You know, they're in the same situation my platoon's in. You know, even though my platoon may be 4 full squads, it's still, they can't, you know, they're just as effective as me, really. they can't take part in a zerg and make... Well, that's not right. You could take part in a zerg, but you're not really going to have any positive impact on that zerg because the forces are so large. You won't get any reward capturing minor bases because, you know, what's the point? So you've got this situation where the game is kind of forcing those players away because they are always going to feel in the game's current state like they are doing nothing. They have no impact. They can't, you know, they literally have zero impact. And that is bad. That is really, really bad. And I just, like, it beggars belief that things like this are even there. It's just dumb, really. Now, I'm going to give some specific examples for the ESF. So, in my case, it's the Mosquito, but it doesn't really matter. This applies to all faction-specific fighters. So, if I've shot down 10 people in air-to-air combat, I'm only going to get full XP for maybe 2, 3, 4 at a push. Now, you're probably thinking, what the hell are you going on about, Stylosa? You've killed 10 people. Yeah, I might have killed 10 people, but they've ditched their aircraft. They've crash-landed. And I don't get the reward for the kill. So I just get the assist damage. And it's like, hang on a minute. That's not fair. I've caused all the damage to this enemy Scythe or this enemy Reaver. And they've just simply crashed and robbed me of the points. You know, they're not doing that on purpose. They're just trying to escape. You know, in the heat of the battle, they might fly into a building or try some crazy maneuver and crash into the ground. Yeah, I'm getting no reward for this. So again, this goes back to the situation of, it's not worth me pissing about in my Mosquito. You know, I think I'm battle rank 26. Yeah, I've got over 100 hours of gameplay. I really like my ESFs. I spend a lot of time in them, yeah? But beyond finding a Sunderer packed full of infantry that you could plaster with Hellfire rockets, you're not really going to get that many kills. An infantryman just hiding inside a biolab is going to completely destroy you in terms of XP and get more stuff, yeah? Now, I'm not moaning because it's like, oh god, that guy's got more XP than me or whatever. What I'm saying is that the rewards are not equal across the board. At the moment, just go to a biolab, just go to a tech plant and defend them and farm and get loads of kills. And it's like, that is not promoting group play. That is completely counter-intuitive. It is fucking stupid. Anyway, let me just stay on to the ESF examples. So, you go to reload, you go to refuel. You die. But you die to your friendly fire. Well, you die to your own team. It's not, in essence, friendly fire. They're not shooting at you. They crash into you. A Liberator lands on you. A Mosquito flies into you and destroys you as you're trying to reload. So this creates situations where you may have gone out into the fight, used up all your ammunition, you're feeling really good, you fly back to the base and you die because somebody's decided to land on top of you with their Mosquito. Now, I'm not saying these people are doing it on purpose because they're probably not. But why is collision even turned on around these towers, around wherever the reload points are for the aircraft? It's just stupid. It's like, why is collision not turned off? I don't know. It's just totally stupid. And then, talking about collisions, this moves me nicely on to my final point for ESFs, which is dogfights. So at the moment, dogfighting is a joke. So as I've said, most of the time people crash into the floor, even if you've got the upper hand on them. The other thing which happens is you crash into each other. So if you get somebody who's competent in the air, and they're gonna, you know, they're not just gonna simply try and fly away and allow you to follow them behind and destroy them. They're gonna start turning inside and out and trying to get the jump on you, get behind you and do damage to you. Well, of course, what does this mean? You're trying to do the same thing, yeah? So it's getting slower and slower, right? Because of all the crafter, vertical takeoff. Effectively a hybrid between a helicopter and a jet fighter. So everybody's slowing down. They're moving around. They're going around in a nice little spiral, trying to shoot at each other. Closer and closer and closer. You eventually turn to get the shot on. Oh, look at that! They're looking directly at me. You fly into each other and die. I'm sure most other pilots have felt this as well. Please comment below. I mean, comment below anyway on the video as a whole. But I tell you what, this happens all the time, and that is terrible. The other thing which happens as well in dogfights is you get destroyed by your own team. Because as soon as a Scythe, let's say, flies too far into your lines, yeah, you obviously see this happening, so you chase after the Scythe and start attacking him. Well, other pilots see this, don't they? So they all start flying after him, which is fine, let's kill him, gang up on him. That's completely legitimate. The problem is, though, I get an overwhelming feeling that people are doing anything to get the kills. Yeah, so they'll continue to fire. They'll just plaster the target with whatever they've got, regardless of what's in front of them. So if you happen to be the unlucky sod in the mosquito at the front, or your scythe, or your reaver, or whatever, you are going to take shitloads of damage and probably die from friendly fire because everybody's gagging to get the kill, and that's bad. But as I say, they are just specific instances I've got from spending a lot of time in the air. So I think I'm going to wrap this up because there are other issues, but by far I think I've covered the biggest problems, especially concerning the metagame and some gameplay issues. But the biggest problem is without any incentive to capture points, so capture bases and things like that, kills give the most XP and certs. So why would you bother capturing any outpost or any base when you could simply head to a meat grinder, sit there, get masses of kills, and unlock what you want? You know, this it's as I said, I mean, counterintuitive is kind of the phrase of this video. It really is counterintuitive, because in a game which is designed around operations, which is designed around large organised gameplay, at the moment it makes sense to just simply sit in a corner and kill people in a biolab than even bother taking part in any kind of group action. And that is terribly wrong and really needs to change fast. So hopefully you've agreed with these comments, guys. If you haven't, tell me why. If you've got other comments, please add them to the comments section below. I read all the comments as ever on all the videos, and I enjoy reading them, and I'll reply to the comments as well. You know, I must stress, I really enjoy Planetside 2. I mean, for me, it's one of the games of the year. It's a game I've always wanted, you know, and I don't want to see this game go downhill. So I don't want this video to appear as a, you know, just a blatant rant, or, you know, I'm being argumentative for the sake of it. I'm trying to highlight problems which are in the game which need fixing to help the community as a whole, and hopefully I can. So I'm going to leave it at that for the moment, guys. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, or, well, not or, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's an order. And I'll catch you next time, people. Toodaloo.